topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Hi, everyone. It's Betty Ray bringing you Archangel Raphael. It is my pleasure to be able to be a spokesperson for the great Archangel Raphael. He is known as the healing angel. And I just had a new friend who called to ask for a reading with Raphael because she has been in terrible pain and is back and forth to doctors all the time. And so she needs help. And so I asked Raphael what we could say to help her. And that's going to be our talk today. Nobody escapes pain. I had a herniated disc 2 years ago. I'm still having pain from it. So you can't escape it. Sooner or later, you're going to do something, and it's going to cause you pain. But this is what Raphael says, and I'm reading from his book now, Ask Raphael. And again, I encourage you to go to Amazon.com and /Ask Raphael /Betty Ray. And you will be absolutely amazed at how he will address every single question you have ever asked. And so we're encouraging you to go to Amazon.com and order our book, Ask Raphael. And you will be very pleased. Those people who have gotten back to me about it said how it was wonderful and they really enjoyed it. So please give us a rating. Once you get it and you find you enjoy it, we certainly appreciate a nice 5-star rating. And it does help to bring more people to the book. And so this has been a long time coming, people. I've worked so hard with this and run into so many complications. And we finally figured out that Raphael knew the timing of this book, and it just wasn't time. And so sometimes he created something that would make it stall. It's learning to trust the divine timing. We are very impatient when it comes to time. Excuse me, but that's not our topic for today. Our topic for today is pain and suffering. And so I'm going to go to Raphael's book right now. I have it up on my little computer over here. So excuse me if I read from it. Raphael says, pain and suffering are part of your physical life's growing pains. Dealing with them is part of your spirit's growing pains. And he said, while the soul doesn't know it is growing through the definition of its success and failure from each life experience, it is gaining mastery with each physical and spiritual experience. No experience is considered a failure, nor is it considered wasted or of little value. This is you having a life review at the end of each life. For in your deep involvement emotionally, you come away wanting to judge your choices. And he says, we help you see each choice as a rough gem that can be cut and polished into great value. Through the assimilation of your life experiences after the life, your soul gains great knowledge and thus wisdom. And I'd also like to read from you the first channel book that Raphael had me get involved with. And this was co-authored with my friend Landy Millis, who asked the questions. And we also had, Raphael had called in Amenhotep, who was a pharaoh back in the first pharaoh time. And because he wanted to have a soul who had had physical experience, because archangels haven't had any physical experiences. So this is what he wrote. He said, the truth about health. Hotep says, in your physical world, life is a game of truth or consequences. When you follow the truth of the law of love, the consequences are happiness, harmony, and health. When you break that law, there are the unpleasant consequences of depression, disharmony, and illness. Now, Landy said, okay, Hotep, who broke the law of love when they polluted the world with exhaust fumes, toxic waste, and food so filled with other chemicals? Is there any hope for good health in that kind of a world? Good question, huh? Well, Hotep says, the law of love was broken because of the bottom line, which is money and greed. But of course, there's always hope. Many of your kind are already solving the problems of the toxic waste and the chemicals in your food. Have you not obtained the right to read the ingredients on labels? Do you? This is a forward movement toward good health. And more factories are cleaning up their toxic waste and the air pollution they've caused. You and others have demanded and have received these changes. No good health, he says, no, good health is not an impossible goal. Each must do their own part to reach that goal. One way to take care of the physical body is to eliminate the bad habits of poor nutrition or the spare tire around your emotional body. Soothing your emotional body may come in the form of eating comfort foods such as sweets. It also comes in relying on acts of comfort such as sleep and other escape mechanisms. Some of these comfort actions are in direct opposition to a healthy lifestyle. He says, remember, you are the creator of your world. Let's say that again. You are the creator of your world. When there is harmony between your soul and you, health in mind, body, and spirit is the natural result. Once you have merged with your soul and God, you will indeed find that your health will improve daily. To merge with your soul, it is imperative to live in the moment that we shall call now time. When you focus on the task at hand with your intent to do the very best that you can in that moment, you will be given information that will keep your physical and spiritual bodies in sync with each other and in good health. Let us give an example. On the way to work, the traffic is backed up and the exhaust fumes billow all around you. You can't do anything about it in that moment. You could choose to rant and rave, joining others in your road rage and building stress that will cause illness. Or you could choose to close your windows, turn on your radio or CD player, and listen to soft, gentle music that soothes your nerves. The latter reduces stress, creating balance within your mind, spirit, and body. In so doing, you learn the art of creating health. And we'll kind of leave that right there because we're going to go back over here to Raphael's newest book. And he says, pain and suffering are part of your physical life's growing pains. Dealing with them is part of your spirit's growing pains. So he says, while the soul doesn't know it is growing through the definition of its success and failure from each life experience, it is gaining mastery with each physical and spiritual experience. No experience is considered a failure, nor is it considered wasted or of little value. This is you having a life review at the end of each life, for in your deep involvement emotionally, you may come away wanting to judge your choices. We help you see each choice as a rough gem that can be cut and polished into great value. Can you picture that? Your pain and suffering can become a beautiful jewel of great value. How you use that pain and suffering, how you cope with it, is what kind of a gem you will have. If it isn't cut and polished and beautifully shining, it's because you griped and complained and made other people miserable and shed tears and whined and complained and didn't use the experience of pain and suffering for your soul's highest good. I'm thinking of Christopher Reeves, who played Superman, very handsome young man who had back injury, probably from some stunt he was doing for the movies, and ended up a paraplegic. He couldn't get out of a wheelchair. But his spirit, the joy on his face was never diminished, and he brought great value to his life. And it was part of the divine plan for his life to take that tumble and fall that created that accident. It wasn't that he chose it consciously. We as humans would never choose to suffer. And the soul would, because it doesn't suffer. It just knows that the experience it has in the physical world and how it deals with pain and suffering is what will help it to polish the gem that is inside it to become a beautiful, beautiful work of art. So going on, he says, we help you see each choice as a rough gem that can be cut and polished into great value. Through the assimilation of your life experiences after the life your soul gains great knowledge and thus wisdom. So, having had a herniated disc 2 years ago now, 2 years ago, February, and having suffered because of it, and still suffering because of it, I am learning never to complain about it, to keep my grimaces of pain to myself, never to look for pity or self destructive methods of trying to get attention. Instead, as a friend of mine said, you always smile. That's the secret to pain and suffering. You don't let on. You don't try to get any kind of pity or any kind of special help. Instead, you suffer silently with a smile on your face. When you do that, when you put yourself in other people's shoes, who'd want to listen to a whiner? Who'd want to listen to a complainer? Who'd want to listen to a bellyacher? Nobody. Instead of losing friends, because all they hear from you is whining and complaining, smile. Be concerned about what's going on in their lives. Ask them how they're feeling instead of wanting them to take care of you. This requires a bit of soul advancement. For baby souls, like babies, want attention, want somebody to take care of them, and will complain and will be nasty if people don't take care of them, like some leaders we know who are no longer leaders, thank God. And so think about this. Baby souls are always looking for others to take care of them, for others to do their bidding, for others to make them rich and famous and happy. And when that doesn't happen, they put the blame on others rather than themselves. And their pain and suffering does not get the attention that it needs. So if you are experiencing pain in this moment in time, dear friends, take a slow, deep breath that goes all the way down to your abdomen, that doesn't raise your shoulders. So here's a shallow breath. Watch. And it tightens up your neck, and it makes you tight and afraid and anxious. But abdominal breathing goes down to your abdomen. Your belly swells up when you take a deep breath. So don't wear tight pants because you need to expand when you go down there. You can't be strangled into something tight. And so deep breathing is a really important part of being able to enjoy a good, healthy life. And it really does help to heal you. Abdominal breathing sends energy to the meridians in your body that are being fed by your major energy centers called chakras that will help to heal you. Every one of those energy centers, all 7 of them, beginning at the top of your head and going to the base of your spine, they are gems of healing. And if you will use your imagination and see them as gems of healing, and imagine that you can take out the red chakra at the base of your spine, hold it in your hand, and polish it up. Polish it up and make it sparkle as a ruby. Then all of your physical needs and all of your, well, I can't say emotional needs, all of your physical needs will be tended to. You will be given inspiration in what to do to take care of the pain and suffering, what to do to bear it if you cannot. You will be inspired by God through the angels who are the interpreters of God mind. So then you take out the next chakra, which is a beautiful, like a setting sun. It's orange, and it is vibrant, and it is alive, and it is giving you emotional energy. It is helping you to cope with emotions. Then the next one is just about where the belly button is, and it's vibrant yellow. And it will help you emotionally. It will also inspire you intellectually. Yellow is a color for the intellect as well as the emotions. And so moving up just below the rib cage, well, in that area is the yellow. That's the emotions. I think I said that. Okay. Red is for the physical body. Orange is for the emotional body, and it is very vibrant. Yellow is also for the intellect and the emotional body, and that's what's down in the middle there. And then the heart area is where the green vibrant energy is placed. And in the throat is that ball of energy that is pale blue like the sky. And it is what gives you the words you need to say what will help your emotional body and your intellectual body and will help you to stand up for your needs. Then you have what's called the third eye right here. And it's called indigo, which is a very deep bluish purple, like a midnight sky. And then off the top of your head, looks like a fountain when I look at it. And it's a fountain of violet and purple and white. And it's called the crown chakra. Now, chakra is a Sanskrit word that goes back thousands of years. And it just means spinning wheels. And that's what you need to imagine when you are polishing up these beautiful, oh, there's a monarch butterfly that just landed outside my window. And this is a way of saying that that orange color is your freedom to fly. It is at the base, near the base of the spine, just above the red energy center, that allows you to be spiritual and to be free to express the knowledge and the wisdom that comes to you. So, knowing that you have all of these energy centers that are vibrant jewels of spinning wheels, they look like spinning wheels. When you are aware of them and you find that, for example, you've got a puzzle that you can't quite figure out, well, that's when you go to the indigo energy center here, and you ask for divine knowledge, and you ask for an inspiration as to what to do next or what to say, excuse me, in a situation that you need to say something to stand up for yourself, but you're afraid to figure it out. And let me give you a hint. Don't schedule it. Don't script it, as Raphael says. That's not good work. Allow the divine inspiration in the moment to help you to know exactly what to say in the moment. And Sometimes you may find yourself saying something that's kind of rough and not necessarily sweet. And there's that butterfly out there. It will be a sense of freedom for you. It will free you to fly away from fear and anxiety. Sometimes somebody needs to be given a piece of your mind, but you don't have to give your mind away to do it. And you don't have to give your emotions away to do it. You can simply allow yourself to be free to speak the truth as you know it. Now, pain and suffering can result emotionally when you do that, because the person who hears what they don't want to hear is likely going to retaliate in not so nice a way. And I can see somebody going, "You're a bad person," because they speak the truth. So don't allow somebody else's opinion of you to turn you away from truth when it needs to be spoken. And sometimes you need to just be silent and not even attempt to speak to someone who cannot hear you and refuse to listen to whatever wisdom you have to offer. And know that unless asked, you don't want to give it anyway, because it would only be spoiled. And that divine wisdom that was for you is obviously not always for others. This is one of the hard things for people who want to be healers or want to learn how to be a healer, to learn Reiki for one thing, or to learn any other form or methodology of healing. Now, my daughter has her doctorates in occupational therapy. She is a healer and she loves it because she's working with children in the schools. Well, not now because schools are closed, but still, she works online with her patients. And she has such joy to give them as well, which is a healing potion. So be a healer in spite of your pain. Be a healer for others, and you will find that you too will be healed. And so, speaking of healing again, it is something that you can ask God for to relieve you of the pain and suffering that you are experiencing. And at the same time, to ask God for the power to be able to overcome your fear of pain. Welcome, Johnny. Glad to see you. She says sometimes that silence is so hard, but thanks to you and Raphael, I am learning. Oh, you're welcome, dear one. Of course, it's hard when you're in pain and suffering to be silent about it and put a smile on your face instead. To ask for help, though, is not wrong. If you are having trouble doing certain things and somebody has asked if they can help you, don't let pride get in your way. Allow yourself, like that monarch butterfly that just took off and flew away. Allow yourself to fly with the help of others. And I know you've gone through a whole lot of pain and suffering in all your years, as young as you are. And yet, you have kept your spirit bright and beautiful. And it's been a pleasure to know you for what is it, over 40 years, did you say? You were a student of mine in junior high school in many, many years ago. And it has been a joy to know that you're still back in my life. So thank you for sharing with us today. And I hope others that are listening are not afraid to give your email address. This is what I understand is that some people hold back because they're so afraid to give out their email address for fear of hacking and all of this terrible stuff that's going on. But when you trust and allow the angels to help you, you'll find that you don't have to worry about that, especially on this station. You can give your email address and your name, and it will be honored and valued and taken care of. So don't hesitate to email us and through this station and ask questions. So thank you, Johnny, for being brave and doing that. So she says silence is so hard, but thanks to you and Raphael, she's learning. Well, sometimes silence is not so good. If you need help, then and somebody's there that can do it, don't hesitate to ask them. They're there to help you. And that could be a mistake in honoring their gift of giving, because you have to receive as well as give. And Johnny, I know you are a giver. And so it's extra hard for you to be able to accept other people's giving and wanting to help you. And so be a giver, but be a receiver as well. And we say this to all of you, especially green souls, which Johnny is. Green souls are here to be of service to others in healing and whatever way that they can. And sometimes their downfall is that they end up being a servant to other people when other people expect them to take care of them. Now, that doesn't work. And it certainly doesn't feel good when somebody snaps their fingers and expects you to come running. But sometimes, if you don't have a choice, like you have an elderly parent or a grandparent that you have agreed to take care of, and they're grouchy and they're old because they're in pain and suffering, and they take it out on you, well, chalk up points for your soul every time you put on a smile instead of a frown and go do their bidding, because they cannot do it for themselves. Now, green souls find themselves in that situation a lot. And when you are in need, as I know you went through a lot of suffering, and mainly because you've had a body that has given you fits and starts from the moment you were born. And so this has not been an easy life for you. And knowing this, your soul rejoices and is glad that you've come such a long ways in this lifetime. And you have gained so many points in heaven that when you get there, you're going to be amazed at all of your friends and family gathered around you, applauding you, and saying, thank you, for you have helped them in so many ways just by your example. Your example of being silent when you want to say something, when you want to just dress somebody down. And sometimes you really need to do that. Another butterfly just flitted into my butterfly bush, a black butterfly. So don't look at black as evil. I think that's the message that Raphael has. And so you are here today to witness to others that you have survived pain and suffering, Johnny. And you have survived pain and suffering not only physically, but emotionally and mentally. Your history is a story of a hero, a heroine, because of all that you've gone through ever since you were a child. And so you are an inspiration to others. And I hope, because you're good at writing, that you write your memoirs, as I have done in the stories that I tell with the Anita Lynn series. They're not exactly my memoirs, they really are a story, but they're based on my life experiences as a spiritual teacher and as a channel for Archangel Raphael. So everybody has a story to tell. And everybody needs to tell their story, even if you just write it in your journal. And I hope all of you are writing in a journal. You'll be amazed at how your angel will get through and answer questions for you. Like the question of this new woman that came and asked, what can she do about all the pain and suffering that she's going through? She goes from one doctor to the next and back to the next. And she says, okay. Okay, they're showing what Johnny said. Thank you. She says, sometimes that silence is so hard, but thanks to you and Raphael, I am learning. Well, I hope that somebody's listening to us and they are getting information that will be helpful, because this is why we're here. This is why we exist at almost 87 years of age. My goodness, we never thought we would be doing this at this time of our life, but we're grateful to do it. And we are ecstatic that we now have Raphael's book out on Amazon. Ask Raphael. You go to amazon.com/Ask Raphael /Betty Ray. and that's RAE. And please order our book and then read it and then come back every Tuesday and ask more questions, ask for clarification. And so Raphael talks about the vortex of ascension, which is what happens when you leave your physical body behind and all of its problems. And you get to shed that like an old winter coat that you no longer need. And then your spirit lifts up out of your body and it goes through what Raphael calls the vortex of ascension. Other peoples have called it the tunnel because it is a gentle wave, almost like a scouring of the fear and anxiety that you want to carry with you emotionally. And instead, it sort of slushes it off. The vortex of ascension cleanses you and allows you to enter the next dimension, which is only love. There's no room for anger or pity or frustration, anything negative in the next dimension just isn't there. There is no polarity. There is only love. And that's why, people call it heaven, because there isn't anything that they could ever want to leave. So Johnny says, it took 10 seconds and I ordered it while watching you. Well, goodness, thank you. 10 seconds. Wow. I'm so grateful. And I hope more of you will also do that. It was a long time in coming. We ran into so many roadblocks. It was like the dark side was trying to keep Raphael's book off the bookshelves. And now it is ready to be on your bookshelf. Just go to Amazon.com, ask Raphael/Betty Ray, and you will find this wonderful book that we have been talking about for such a long time. It's now in print, in a soft cover, as well as the Kindle version for only 99 cents. And the book itself is only $14.44. And that again was the price that was given by my friend who has helped me get the book published. She said 444 is an angelic number. And that's why she put that price on it. So please do order it today. Ask Raphael/Betty Ray and read for yourself and comment. Please give us a comment because this helps it to get to the #1 bestseller list. This is what Raphael would like to do, to have it such that more and more people will be inspired to purchase it and to raise their consciousness. Remember, Raphael said a while back, he said, it was a couple of years ago, he said, watch for transparency in politics, where lies will be seen as lies and truth as truth. And we certainly have gone through that, haven't we? And now the truth is that we are raising our consciousness out of fear and anxiety and anger and frustration. And we are now accepting love and peace and harmony as our right and good. Now, life may not be totally right and good for you. And again, I'm addressing the young woman that has written to me to ask how she can heal her body. Maybe healing of your body is not what Raphael intends for you. Yes, that's a possibility that you may not find a healing. But if you find a healing of your heart, if you find the healing and acceptance of what is with a smile on your face, you will have healed your soul in a multitude of ways. And that's why your soul took on your physical body to begin with. In fact, it knew that you probably would be ending up in the state of suffering. And so we say to you, pain and suffering is something everybody on the planet will experience at one time or another. I'm laughing because I'm also hearing, if you drink too much, you suffer from the hangover. There's always a balance in everything. You cannot escape the balance. And if you get yourself out of balance in some way, then it can upset the equilibrium of the body. And so one of the things that you can do for your physical body is to eat whole foods. That means foods that have life in them and haven't been microwaved away or haven't been, and I hear myself saying that because I microwave my food. So, but It is also important that you have fresh fruit and vegetables every day. Your body needs that, and it will help with any kind of aches and pains that you might have. Now, medication does not replace meditation. I remember once I was giving a lecture to hundreds of people, and instead of saying meditation, I said medication. And I laughed because I caught myself right away. And Spirit said within me, if you would meditate more, you would medicate less. Saying those two words, meditate and medicate, are pretty close together. But it's true. When you meditate, you are inspired of what to do to heal your physical body. And sometimes it means taking some kind of vitamins or minerals. Minerals are often lacking in the diet. And so sometimes the food isn't giving your body what it needs. And you might have to take supplements. But don't take it because I've just said this now. Only take it if you had an inspiration in here in the heart. And then you know that's for you and not because Betty Ray said it could be. Know and listen to the divine guidance within you and be patient about it. And so, thanks, Johnny, for ordering Ask Raphael. You are such a sweet lady. I'm so glad that you visit us and come here to let me know that you're not afraid to give out your email address. And I can assure you that when you come through the radio show, your email is honored as private, and you don't have to worry when you come here. A lot of people won't give out their email address out of fear of all these stupid hackers that are out there. Well, intellectually, they're not stupid because they're smart enough to know how to hack, but emotionally, they are stupid because they don't know the havoc that they create and how it will come right back at them. And some way or another, they will experience the same kind of emotional wreckage that they have done to others. Now, some people will say that what you are suffering is a karmic, that you did something in a previous lifetime and now you're experiencing. No, 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 no. Dear friends, God doesn't work that way. Just like we've said, and it's in the book, God didn't create a hell, we did. And purgatory, we created those ideas. God is pure love, energy, given freely to every single thing that exists in the physical and non physical worlds, or it wouldn't exist. So the mind of God has encompassed everyone and everything and is continuing to do so, or it would go poof and no longer be in existence. Isn't that amazing? God not only hears you, God feeds you, God is you. Every cell of your body is God wrapped in that cell because God is aware of everyone and everything. And God cannot ever let go of what it knows, of what it is. So take a deep breath and know, dear ones, that you are loved unconditionally. And you need to stop judging yourself. You may not be good at math like me, I'm terrible at math. Thank God for calculators. Or you may not be good at something else, but look at the things you are good at and focus on those and allow your inspiration from your angels to come through and help you to do what you came here to do. Only you can do it. Nobody else can be you. You are so uniquely created. Only you can do what you do. And you know what? Even though you wear a mask when you go out, and I do hope you do still, even if you got vaccinated, you still want to wear a mask to honor others. And so, because if they see you without a mask, they think you don't care. And you can't go around saying, I've been vaccinated. You still need to wear a mask when you are out among people. And then when you're home, you don't have to worry about it. So we hope that you will always listen to your own joy within you, for it is through joy that God speaks through you. God doesn't speak through fear. Fear is like slamming the door in God's face. Fear and anxiety that you have been forgotten, that God doesn't love you as much as He loves someone else. That's just not true. There is dark energy and dark entities that try to pull you down into the pit. And you have to recognize when your thoughts are swirling with the dark energy. And once you do, you sort of knock yourself on the side of the head and let it go out the other ear. So, here, friends, know that you can overcome anything that has been challenging you. If it's illness and you constantly find yourself going to doctors, then acknowledge that you have been put in their path so that they can serve you. And even if they can't heal you, they may suggest some other methodology and send you to some other doctor. But that is also for them as doctors to be practicing physicians. You have been sent to be practiced upon. And that's part of the divine plan for your life and for theirs. Doctors have to have patience or they won't have a business. You volunteered. And if you still are having problems with pain, then go to some pain clinic. You don't want to be hooked on drugs, but you might be able to find some other method of relieving yourself of the pain. So do research, go online and do research, and you will find what you need. But don't give up and give in to despair or depression, thinking that God has forgotten you, because that is certainly not true. So, today is about pain and suffering. And let me tell you, I am still suffering with a herniated disc that I did foolishly pick up a box of books for a book signing 2 years ago. And I am still suffering, but I do it with a smile. I do whatever I'm inspired to do. Sometimes is to wear a brace, other times to actually use a cane, and other times to just take some aspirin. Whatever I'm inspired in the moment to do, I know my angels are trying to help me with the pain. And I do know that it will not stop me from smiling and from bringing to you the joy of an archangel. And so it is getting close to our time, and I'm going to go back to private chat and see if Rebel can tell us where we're at. I think we've got about maybe 3 more minutes or 4. Let me know how much time we have, will you please, Rebel? I don't want to go overtime. And here we go. Amazon.com by, oh, there's a number there. Okay, that's how you can get the book. Notice that it's going by. And so there you go. There's how to get the book. And I see that, as you said, that, we have 7 minutes. Ooh, that's great. We have 7 minutes. So let's go back and read again what it says in Raphael's book. We'll go back. He says, we always encourage you to let go of any fear of death or of the process of dying. You have done it many times before. Souls declare that the birth process is far more traumatic than the dying process. We understand your fear of pain and how you relate that with death. We say unto you, each soul's entity will experience pain and discomfort in their physical body in some form or another all throughout the life. You cannot escape the challenges to your soul's physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual selves. Lord knows I'm a clumsy one. Fell off the ladder, broke my back. Well, actually, I fractured the 12th thoracic vertebrae and was out of school and teaching for months before. And part of that was to tell me it was time to retire, like 8 years before I would normally have retired, because Raphael wanted me to be his channel. I didn't even know I was at the time. And again, we talk about preparing for this particular work. I tried to study astrology. I had flashcards. Now, mind you, I have a master's degree in education. I'm no stupid person, but I could not learn astrology. No matter how hard I tried, nothing stuck. And then one day Raphael said, but we want her empty-headed, which meant He didn't want me using astrology to try and do a reading when he can give information I couldn't possibly know. So he wanted me as a pure channel to get out of the way, to empty my head of any ideas Betty Ray might want to give to you, and instead to be a pure channel for the Archangel to tell you what you need to hear. And so, again, I welcome you to email us at angelbettyray@raphael.com, and you will be able to get a free consultation with Raphael. And so don't hesitate to email us and set up a time when the Archangel can speak directly to you. We do it free now because we've been so blessed over having this many years on the planet and with pain and suffering throughout it, yes, breaking legs, or excuse me, breaking bones, because I didn't break a leg. Let's see, I broke a thoracic vertebrae, I broke my foot, I fractured my knee, all falling off ladders. And people say, well, don't get on ladders. And I say, but I still do. If I have to get up there and hang curtains, I'll get up on a ladder and do it. So, I'm not asking for to be free of pain and suffering, and I'm not looking for it. We have to be careful that we don't do foolish things like drive a car too fast and end up in a tree. No, we don't want to do stupid things like climbing up on ladders. I know I'm hearing that too. But know that an accident happens. If you are in pain and you are suffering, you can use it to your soul's advantage by bearing it with a smile, by not complaining, by doing whatever it is you're inspired to do, to go see this doctor or that doctor or a pain clinic or whatever you are inspired to do it. You are that doctor's next patient that they can practice on because they don't have all the answers. But if you're going to a specialist on certain things, they do have a whole lot more answers than you do. And so if you're inspired to follow that lead, do it because it's not just for you, it's for the doctors and the healthcare providers that are working with you. Know that the divine plan is not just about you, it's about everybody that enters your stage. And again, imagine that you are the star of your show. You are on this huge stage. You are in a center. A spotlight is on you. And suddenly, angels surround you with divine light. And the darkness is no longer there. You are surrounded by this loving green light that is the Archangel Raphael. Know that you are blessed with angels always in attendance. They're your backstage managers. They're the ones that inspired you to go talk to Betty Ray or to go watch her show. And so you did. And so hopefully you were given inspiration. So please don't hesitate to go to Amazon.com, ask Raphael /Betty Ray, and order our book. As As Johnny said, it took 10 seconds to order the book while she was watching this show. Please, we encourage you to do so. Buy a few extra, send it to your friends. Let people know that there is much more to their life in the spirit world around them that is there to be of service and to help, but you have to ask the angels. They cannot help you unless you ask because they're not allowed to interfere. They can't just say, oh, she's suffering, we're going to help her. No, you have to say, okay, Raphael, I'm open to new ideas. Inspire me what to do next. And it might be a new doctor that you need to go see. And so we say this to you who are searching to find healing in some way, shape, or form. Keep following the divine inspiration because there's always a purpose beyond your purpose for healing. And then learn to accept the pain with joy in your heart, not with fear and anxiety, and know that you are blessed And so we say goodbye for now. It always goes so darn fast. I can't believe it. Don't hesitate to email us, angelbettyray@gmail.com, and ask for a private consultation. We're more than happy to speak with you. And it's free. And we are glad to do it for free. God bless you. Thank you for joining us. Please tell others about us. Subscribe so that you get the bell to ring and let you know if we are online any other time. Sometimes we do a video just for the heck of it, and we never know what we're going to talk about. So God bless each of you. And come back again next week. Bring your friends and tell people about our new book, Ask Raphael. We want it to reach as many people as possible. Until next time, God bless you. Thank you for being with us. We love you. Bye for now.